Our guest speakers for the event are Dr. D.P. Tripathi, Deputy Librarian from NIT Jalandhar, Dr. Neeraj Kumar Singh, Deputy Librarian, A.C. Joshi Library, Punjab University, Chandigarh, and Dr. Nirmal Singh, University Librarian, Guru Angad Dev University, Ludhiana. Now I would like to request our Honorable Principal Sir to extend a green welcome to our guest speaker, Dr. D.P. Tripathi. Ranganathan College warmly welcome you to today's workshop on Future of Innovation and Research and Impact of Information Technology on Academic Spheres. Through this workshop, Readers Club of our college honors and remembers India's father of library sciences, Dr. S.R. Ranganathan, on his birthday. In honoring libraries and librarians in this way, our institution recognizes their value to our academic community and to society in large. This celebration highlights the importance of librarians in curating knowledge, research, supporting learning, and fostering a love for reading. So it is a great honor for the college to organize this workshop for the enhancement of research and innovation skills among the faculty members and students. I would like to call upon our Honorable Principal Sir to give his inaugural address.
Respected Dr. D.P. Tripathi from NIT Jalandhar, learned faculty members and dear students, who are planning something as an orientation from library. The purpose was that our students should be well equipped with the library and whatever IT related softwares, journals and other resources are available. But Dr. Gurpreet shared with me that Librarian Day is coming and we can have a better program involving both teachers and students. So I said, okay, let's try to have something as a reader club. And 3-4 learned professors from different universities will be coming up to share with you their opinions about innovation, research and impact of information technology on academic spheres. You know, library no longer is a place. Now you may be sitting anywhere because of the digital resources available, you can access to resources. And our library is also having number of resources which are procured through Government of India also and privately arranged also. Having the journals, having the books, and number of softwares are also available. But what's coming to our mind is most of us are unaware of the facility available. That's why we are unable to use them, or we can say that less. So by organizing such events, our purpose is that whatever facilities are available through digital mode, we should be in a position to use that to the optimal extent. You're all aware of that in the age of Google and other things, there are a number of portals which are providing information, but that information may not be authentic. A number of times the information which you are searching from here and there, that has their own problems. So having reliable resources and having knowledge of reliable resources is must these days. Hopefully with today's program, you will be in a better position to understand. And specifically to your teachers, I believe that if you know these facilities are available, you will certainly share the same to your students also. In our time, there were only traditional libraries. Digital resources was almost negligible. And if there were any, it was you have to go to Delhi to look out. But our teacher used to sit in library. They used to study the books a lot, newspapers a lot, and they used to give us assignments. And because at that time internet was not much available, even if it is available, it was through telephone in rare occasion. So traditional way was used. So our teachers were also guiding us sitting in the library, and we were also learning from the library. Getting a seat in a library was also a delight. That this time I went to the library and one chair was available. Today's situation is changing because of the availability of so much of the portals, YouTube and everything. But as I said earlier, I'm repeating, now problem is whatever easily is available that may not have quality information. So number of time, because there are number of missions, number of hidden agendas, person provide you information freely and you come to know that is not authentic. That's why the role of library has also changed. The role of librarian in the research has also changed. Hopefully today you will be knowing whatever is happening in the field of library sciences because of integration with the technology, and being the students and the teacher, being the researchers, this information is very relevant to us. And I will appreciate reader clubs, especially Dr. Gurpreet, Madam Pratibha Kulwari and all others who are regularly organizing the events. I believe strongly that health of an institution can be judged from its library. And if your library is vibrant, certainly the level of knowledge and research of the college is high. So I congratulate all of you for the events, specifically for S.L. Ranganathan National Librarian Day. Probably it is on August 12th.
Yes.
So we are little bit early, but no harm in being early. Congratulations in advance. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our first guest speaker, Dr. D.P. Tripathi, has an experience of 19 years in managing IT resources in libraries, and presently he is working as Deputy Librarian in NIT Jalandhar. He is also the recipient of Commonwealth Fellowship in 2016 and completed the same at the University of East London. He has been maintaining his online platform in the form of a website and a YouTube channel, namely Librarian Guide, for sharing information and knowledge with library professionals. He will give his insights on digital and AI tools for research. I invite you, sir, to the dais. Please, sir.
Present here in this beautiful hall. Respected Principal Dr. Ajay Sharma of this college, Dr. Gurpreet, all the intellectual, esteemed faculty members, and very dear participants. I am really happy to be here in the program which is being organized by this college. And I am really thankful to Dr. Gurpreet for creating this wonderful opportunity to meet with galaxy of intellectuals, and that also on the occasion of celebrating Dr. S.R. Ranganathan, who is also known as Father of Library Science in India. And we are all following the path who set for all the library professionals in India, and whatever objective he has given to all library professionals, so we are trying to meet his whatever the task he had assigned to before he passed away. So I hope that library professionals everywhere they are doing it, and I am very happy that Dr. Gurpreet has taken a very nice initiative in conducting this activity, and I have been given responsibility to cover the area how we can use the different tools available, whether it is digital or artificial intelligence tool for enhancing our research. So before I start my presentation, I would like to mention the laws which was given by Dr. S.R. Ranganathan. Being a library professional, he set some target for library professional, and he gave 5 laws of library science. He said that books are for use, every reader is one book, every book its reader, save the time of reader, and library is a growing organism. So I think it is self-explanatory, you can understand. So it is our responsibility that how we can grow our library, whether it is providing the information, whether it is providing the books, documents, collection development, providing the different research related information, managing the resources with artificial intelligence, library automation, digitization, or whatever it is. So the digital and AI tools, why we have taken for research, because you all will agree with me that today the technology is dominating us. In every sphere of our life, technology is dominating. Right from when we wake up in the morning, we do not look for the tea, a cup of tea or a cup of glass, or we don't think about going to walk for 5 kilometers in the morning. But the first, most of the people, they do what? They simply lift up the phone and see, किसी का message तो नहीं आया. This is our regular routine, you believe it or not. So I have personally experienced this, that technology is dominating, and if we are not awakened or if we do not pay attention to this, slowly we will become handicapped. Or if we do not use these technology intelligently, so our own intelligence will die. So let's go deeper into the research topic, which means the topic which I have been given. The time which is given to me, I will try my level best to complete my presentation. In case I need a little more time, so I will request the management and Dr. Gurpreet to please give me. We are going to have a discussion about mainly some of the main important portion, that is the set of skills. See, when we talk about the research has a multiple dimension. Before I go into deep presentation, may I request all of you to please just give answer that how many of from this crowd are dealing with research activity, means how many of you are research scholar? Only a few hands. Okay, thank you very much. And how many faculty members? Oh, they are more in numbers. That's really great. Thank you all. So when we deal with the research, so research has many dimensions. Right from the starting any research, we start from an idea. We first think that how we are going to meet the objective of research. We start with an idea. Then we start finding the research gap. Then we start finding the literature review. With the help of literature review, we find the research gap. Then we start collecting the data. We set the objective, we set the hypothesis. We do the analysis, and then we start writing, means we follow some research methodology to collect the data and come to the analysis, and then finally we conclude our research work. So it involves many processes. In that you will require some professional skill, that we know it as a hard skill. Then you also will require technical skill, and more importantly you will require soft skill. Most of the people, they do not pay attention to this, and why I will draw your attention to soft skill, reason I will tell in the slides. Then we will be talking about some of the important AI tools which are related to research, and then summarizing and paraphrasing tool, some of the tool for literature review, visualization, and many more, and then other common tools which you can utilize during your research work. So just think about being a research scholar. You just think, being a faculty, anyone who is dealing with research and information, as a library professional also, as a user also, you think, what is my expectation? When I start my research, what is my expectation? The first, that whatever information I think of, I am doing research on nanotechnology, so I am thinking that how will I get information, where I can get the information. That is my first priority, first job in completing my research or starting the research. The first responsibility is that how do I start my research, how do I get the information. Then user interface design means what would be the complete design of my research. In that way I would like to define here what would be the complete design of my research. Sometimes when we relate it to the technology and dealing with some interfaces. So the design part, I am talking about the methodology, classification and indexing, architectural design and issue. And in 1970, keeping this artificial intelligence, he mentioned that from 3 to 8 years we will have a machine with general intelligence of an average human being. I mean a machine that will be able to read Shakespeare, grease a car, play office politics, tell a joke, have a flight. At that point the machine will begin to educate itself with fantastic speed. In a few months it will be a genius level, and few months after that its powers will be incalculable. See, this was said in 1970 in an interview to Life magazine, and now it is turning to the reality. How it is turning to the reality, that we'll see later. Now I am coming to directly to the some of the skills which researchers they need. I will go very quickly. Needless to mention here, but I will mention because I want you to listen. First of all, see, many of you, when we start doing the research, I have come across many people, they intend to do research but they do not have the proper education. And you are doing research, it is not going to give you any output. Education means when you are doing your degree, at least you think about your degree and do it properly. Get the skill. Second, proficiency in language. Many of the research scholars, they find difficulty in completing their research only because of the language barrier. So I am not going to go in deeper, but this is the outline that a research scholar is supposed to improve proficiency in language. Expertise in technology. We are very much fluent, we are very much focused on using WhatsApp, Instagram and Telegram, Facebook, but we avoid some of the tools which are related to my topic, which are related to research. We avoid, and most of the researchers, they do not find time to explore them and utilize them in the research work. Then operating different applications. There are plenty of applications. There is no point of excuse. There are plenty of applications available in the internet which you can utilize in day-to-day life to enhance your research work, to enhance your working capacity, to enhance your output. So that application name I will mention, and you will laugh at me, the typing. Typing generally we avoid, but this is a very important part. There are very good websites where you can spend 10 minutes of your time and you can improve your working capacity. You can improve your accuracy in the work. You can improve in completing your work, especially research scholar, when they are preparing the research thesis of 250 pages or 300 pages, it is very difficult for them to complete if they are lacking in typing speed. So my request to research scholars, especially not faculty members, that please spend 10 minutes of time to improve this skill also. This is all coming under hard skill. Some of the technology I am going to talk about, that is also a part of hard skill. You can also consider as a technical skill. See, there are many good software for digital repository. We are talking about the digital library, we are talking about the archival, especially these days when we are doing the research, your faculty, your principal, your college, your administration, even after completing your research, when you are going out of your university or college, they first ask you that have you deposited your thesis in digital repository? Have you got the notice from library? Have you submitted your thesis in archival repository? So my point here is that you should have the knowledge about the digital repository software and the concept. Why? Because many research scholars, they do research, but they forget about the data which they are collecting. They forget about the methodology they have adopted for completing the research. And most important part, that when we do the research, we come across lot of data. Where is that data is going? Once you complete your research, where is that data stored? That is the more challenging task in the process of research data management. So my point is here that you should also focus and insist your administration that your data is properly saved. It is archived in the institution. This is the responsibility of being a research scholar, that my research data after 10 years of time or 5 years of time, if any new researcher is willing to do the research to similar topic, he or she should be able to get my 5 years back data which I collected. Second part, web application development software. That is not very difficult task. You all might have heard about the WordPress. See, we are all talking about the NIRF ranking, we are all talking about our college is falling under within 50 in the NIRF ranking and very famous. How it is all taking place? It is all taking place because of author's productivity. It is all taking place of the standard of the institute which is being maintained by the authorities. Your effort. Why not people should know your effort? I mean, I am trying to draw your attention towards writing the blogs. When you are doing any research, when you are doing any creative work, you try to reach the people through your blogs. Try to reach the people through your article. Create one blog. There are very multiple websites available. The easiest one is the blogger.com. Simply go create one blog, and every day, not possible, at least once in a week, whatever research you are doing, at least think of one small idea or the work you have done in a 1 week, just throw it on the blog and let the people recognize you that you are working on this area. You have done this much development in this area. So this will not only be helpful in calculating the NIRF ranking or producing the data when the NAAC team is visiting your college. It will also improve your author's visibility. It will improve your ranking. It will improve your H index. It will improve author's impact on the research. People will recognize your collaboration. People will come forward to collaborate with you on that particular research work. So my suggestion is to all the young generation, especially the research scholars who are spending hours and hours for completing their research, to create the blog and let the people know about your creativity. Third point, the subject guide software. There are many software where you see any foreign university, especially Australia, UK or US university, all the researchers, they have their own subject guide. And what do? They create the subject guide where related to their subject, whatever they find, whether it is journal, whether it is e-books, standards, patents, open access journals, subscribed journals, books, whatever documents are available, they are maintaining it properly. So what exactly it is giving? It is giving one door to the other researcher to refer when they are starting the research. They don't have to just jump into the sea and find the data. They are having the particular information at the right place so that other users, other researchers, they can use it during their research work. In addition to this, there are many research support tools. In these days, we are talking about the academic integrity. In that, the plagiarism is the most important part. A researcher, they sometimes knowingly, unknowingly, they add the content to their research work. And what exactly happens? They are not aware. They just after completing their job, they go, they submit the PhD, but later it comes in the picture that some of the portion is plagiarized. They are issued letter that why did you take the copy from this, why you have not cited, why you have not given the proper reference, why it is happening? Because either you have not paid attention or you did not have the awareness at the time of writing the content. So you should know about the anti-plagiarism software, whether it is commercial or open source. There are very good open source software, free software available for plagiarism checking like Plag Checker, Viper, in commercial Turnitin, Urkun. All these softwares are available where you can just check the similarity index, similarity of your content which you have taken. And there are very good sites also. I will be mentioning about the artificial intelligence tool, which will also guide you that how you can paraphrase, how you can manage your data and reduce the similarity percentage of the content which you are adding to your research. Grammarly, as I mentioned, that proficiency in language is must in order to complete the research. Please do not avoid this tool if you are writing the thesis. Check this is also providing the free login facility. You check with this tool, your grammar portion will be completely taken care by this tool. It is guiding you even in the preposition, articles, even the sentences are not in a proper way. It is suggesting that you have written it is not correct. Please go and correct in this way. So please do not avoid this Grammarly. Pivot, that is the research funding platform given by ProQuest, which invites the research funding proposal. These are the funding agency. Many scholars, they find difficulty in completing their research due to the financial barrier. So if you have something, some good idea, some good project work which you want that it cannot be completed without the sufficient fund, please drop a proposal to this pivot.process.com. They will, if they like your project, they will provide you sufficient fund to complete your research. Then typeset. Typeset has all the faculty research scholar. I think they are always busy, means most of the time they are busy in writing the intellectual output in the form of articles or books. So this is the platform where they get more than 40,000 plus journal templates of different journals where you can add the content easily, and you do not have to depend or create the template as per the requirement by the different journals. So typeset is one place where you can get all the ready-made templates of different journals, renowned journals. Reference management tool, Mendeley. How many of you are using this tool? Please tell honestly. Only few. Very good. But I will suggest everyone to use this tool, because this is really a very wonderful tool to manage all your research related document, and also helps to cite the information and create the bibliography. If you do it manually, it takes hours and hours to complete the bibliography, cite the information in your article, and collect the information, organize them properly. But this tool provides free up to 2 GB space where you can keep the document, you can easily cite and easily prepare. And the best part that it supports more than 6,000 citation style in different citation style, whether you are creating with the IEEE or Chicago or APA, whatever. So please spend time and utilize this. And one more important part I would like to mention here, that we struggle with literature review. When we start with an idea to complete the research, we struggle with finding the document. You will be surprised that it has more than 100 million list of catalog. If you just throw any keyword, it will give you the citation. It will give you reference that you just go to this site, means this article, and you will get open access plus subscribed access both. So this is also a platform for searching the information. Some of you might have been using the citation database, where we get the article and the index, H index and impact factor, all this. So Web of Science Scopus, needless to mention, but you please pay attention. If you are not using, just explore, you will get lot of idea from here. Some other tools I would like to draw attention, that Weba tool, that is the very powerful tool. When we start writing article, we come across more than 100 or 200, it depends on us that how many documents we have downloaded and scrolled. So what happens, it is very difficult because the article or research has many segments. Some of the portion you will be finding for the research methodology, some of them you will be finding for literature review, or some of them for the conclusion. So out of 100 you got 10 article which is meeting the which is having the content for research methodology. So it is difficult to remember all those points. So this tool will help you to highlight the portion or annotate it. So result will be that if you just annotate that these documents I have referred and these portion I have highlighted, which I have to mention in my research work or article work for the introduction, for the research methodology. So all of you just use this. Also has the extension to add in the Google Chrome, which will be very helpful to organize your content.
Sir has more than 35 research publications, many international fellowships and awards. He has visited some of the best libraries in and around the UK during Commonwealth Professional Fellowship in 2017, and also visited University of California Library USA in 2015 to see best practices implemented in various libraries. His topic for the session is Research Data Management, its significance in the scholarly community. I welcome you, sir, on the dais.
And to preserve your data. Why they have made it mandatory? Because whatever money or whatever funds you are getting from DBT, UGC or any funding, national, international, this funding is basically from the public. So whatever research you are doing, it must be accessible to the public. And if you are publishing your research in any commercial journal, then how many research scholars they are in a position to access Science Direct article? or Sage article. That is why the concept of APC was started. So you pay few dollar in the form of article processing fee, and we will make your research visible to the academic community in open access medium. The purpose is that whatever funding you are getting from any funding agencies, it should be publicly accessible. So various topmost publishers and funding agencies, they sat together and they have developed a framework, or they have developed a principle that is called fair data principle. According to fair data principle, every data, it should be findable, accessible, interoperable and reusable. Right? It is not only about that you have kept the research data in pen drive, but again you have restricted its access, because only you can access this thing. So whatever data you have collected, it should be findable. And how we can make any data findable? When you assign the metadata. If you are assigning the metadata to any data sets, then only it is findable, then accessible. You have to use certain platform so that other research scholar, they can enter keyword, title or whatever field they want, and it should be accessible or retrievable. Interoperable means if you want to switch from one platform to another platform, then there is no issue of interoperability. And reusable. Every data, it should be reusable by other research scholar. And if you are managing all this data, then you can always make your data secure, reusable, findable and accessible, so that we can avoid the duplicacy of your research. Suppose आपको example देता हूँ. Suppose किसी research scholar ने ये लिया कि पंजाब में जो youth है वो कितने मतलब इनको नशा कितना use करता है या उसमें कितना involve है. So now what is happening? Even the government agencies, they are also giving such type of funding to some NGOs or some other bodies. They are also visiting to different villages. You are also going for the same purpose, right? So what is happening, that because they are not managing their data, you are not in a position to use their data which they have already collected. So you are doing any research, and suppose in that particular area, if you will get the access of the research data which is collected and analyzed by some other researcher, that is going to help you, and that is also going to avoid the duplicacy of your research. So that is why maintaining and preserving the data is very, very important. Then how you can manage research data, that is called research data management. Every data has to go with certain cycle. So you have to develop policies, you have to provide space to the user, you have to store the data, and then only it should be shareable, right? So some of the universities, specifically in Western countries, what they have done, they have developed a platform, and they are giving you 20 GB, 40 GB space as soon as you enroll as a research scholar. And they will encourage you not to store your data on pen drive or Google Drive or any other drive. You have to keep your data in that particular repository only, so that other researchers at the same time, they can also be able to know what type of data you are collecting. And you know, sometimes people say कि आपने तो thesis लिखी नहीं, आपने paper publish नहीं किया, आप पहले data डाल दोगे, कोई और use कर लेगा, ये होगा, वो होगा. उन सबके questions के answer दिए जा चुके हैं. Because as soon as you upload your data, it becomes your own intellectual property. If someone will copy later on, then definitely they have to give citation, right? So there are no जितने भी confusions थे वो सारे clear हो चुके हैं. Now again we are talking about the open science and linked data. What is open science? Once you make your research publicly accessible. What is linked data? That you're writing something in your research paper and they are hyperlinked for your data. So suppose at the same time, if anyone wants to refer your data, he or she has to only click and then it will take to the data set where you have uploaded the data. That is called the linked data. Then there are various ways of managing research data. There are only two options: data repositories or institutional data repositories. In India, you know, academic institutions, now they are discussing about these things, but not many institutions they have implemented at institutional level. So what you can do is, you can take the help of these data repositories. Mendeley is one of the popular data repository. You know, most of the science direct paper or Elsevier science paper, the researchers, they are uploaded their data on Mendeley. Generally, we are using Mendeley as a reference management software, but Mendeley is a very powerful tool in terms of managing the data. So it's a very simple, just while clicking or going with different steps, you will be able to upload your data. So this is the example. This is the one of the Elsevier science article, and the data is uploaded on the Mendeley, because now Mendeley has been taken over by the Elsevier. So these are the different steps through which you can make your data publicly accessible, right? And one thing you have to, or it is very, very important to know about the Creative Commons licenses. So sometime if you are feeling that your research is going to have some commercial value in future, in that case you can limit the access of your data or of your article. Because so if somebody will want to use your data for commercial purpose, then he or she has to take the permission from you. So that is why for researcher it is very, very important to understand the concept of Creative Commons licenses, because we are putting everything on open access. So when you are putting anything or specifically research on open access, then you have to protect your intellectual content. And the only way is Creative Commons licenses, right? Then Figshare is again very popular data repository where you can not only access the data which is uploaded by the researcher, but at the same time you can also upload your data. So these are the simple steps through which you can upload your data. So, and for institutional level, again this is the example, this is the final screenshot of your data. So if anybody wants to cite your data, so citation is already there. APA citation style is there, Chicago, Harvard, you select any citation style, you will get the citation. And one important thing is, as soon as you will upload, it will assign the DOI for your data. And DI is a permanent identifier for your data. So you can always use this thing. This is the example, right? Higher educational institution, it is a complicated thing. Many academic institutions, they have started or they are already implemented the ETDs, electronic thesis and dissertation, where they have uploaded the full text PhD thesis. Surganga is an example. Punjab University, we have also uploaded the thesis which is accessible on intranet. We are using open source software. But implementing the data repository is not as simple as implementing electronic thesis and dissertation, because there are lots of stakeholders are involved. So you have to frame the policy, you have to involve your research scholar, faculty member. At the same time, you have to motivate them that why they should upload their data in the data repository. So these are the things. So talking about the data policies, ICSSR, they have not made it mandatory, but now they are encouraging that whatever funding they are giving to the faculty and research scholar and whatever data you are collecting, it should be accessible to the ICSSR data repository. So government has also framed the National Data Sharing and Accessibility Policy, but when we talk about the worldwide, so there are very few institutions which they have developed data repository, and most of these data repositories are not functional at this moment. So in India, the scenario is not good, but if you compare it with any Western world, they are giving full importance to this concept. They have hired professionals, they are giving training to the librarians, and the purpose is to manage the data at their level. So these are some of the tips. So just to conclude, because I have already received the slip that I have to conclude the presentation within 10 minutes, and I don't want to take time of other resource person because he's also sitting in this row. So what I want to say is, or just to conclude thing, until unless government of India is not going to frame this policy, it is not going to implement it at higher educational institution, because we all know voluntarily activity में हम उतने interested नहीं रहते. कब से UGC कह रही थी कि thesis को upload करो, कोई नहीं कर रहा था. thesis आ रही थी, क्या upload कर रहे थे किसी को नहीं पता. बट जब ये हो गया कि हम आपको PhD तब तक नहीं देंगे डिग्री जब तक आपकी कॉपी शोध गंगा पे नहीं जाएगी, सभी अपलोड करने लगे. Right? So same thing we need, or it is required from government side, that they should frame this policy as soon as possible, so that the academics and the researcher, they can know the value of research data, and the people, they can use the data which is collected with great effort, time and money, right? So with these words, so I just finished, I am done with my presentation. So thank you very much for listening to me. And question answer, I think we can take at the end of the.
Good afternoon everyone. I, Chunar Chawla from Department of English, welcome you all to the workshop. Our next expert is Dr. Nirmal Singh Shergill, who is the University Librarian at the Guru Angad Dev Veterinary and Animal Sciences University, Ludhiana. Dr. Singh has more than 16 years of professional experience with numerous publications to his name. He has been actively involved in the development of eHar Nirdesh, a digital learning portal which facilitates digital learning during COVID-19 lockdown. Sorry. His innovative achievements include the customization of the digital repository with an exclusive feature to avail articles through mass rating and impact factor.
Dignitaries on the dais and fellow friends, wish you a very good afternoon. First of all, I want to express my gratitude towards the authorities of this institution, especially Dr. Gurpreet Singh Ji, for giving me an opportunity to be here with you learned people for the exchange of knowledge. At the same time, I want to share with you that before me, two of the learned resource persons, they have enlightened you about the occurrent topics of interest. So, after them, I feel that it is a mountainous task for me to keep you engaged in this talk for next 45 minutes. But I also feel honored that I am getting an opportunity to deliver the talk in front of my teacher. Actually, I am a student of Dr. Neeraj Kumar Singh Ji. And my colleague, Mr. Dheeraj, is also sitting here. He is also a student of Dr. Neeraj Kumar Singh Ji. Actually, Dr. Gurpreet assigned me two topics. One is 3D printing and another is use of augmented and virtual reality in education. So first of all, we will talk about 3D printing. If the time permits, then I will take you to the next topic, that is use of augmented and virtual reality in education. The topic of my talk is use of 3D printing for augmenting the practical knowledge of students and other stakeholders. In fact, stakeholders vary from institution to institution. In case of your institution, stakeholders may include students, it may include faculty members, staff of your institution, the trainees who come to your institution for getting training, the participants of conferences, seminars. But in case of my institution, since I am from Veterinary and Animal Sciences University, stakeholders include farmers. We are using this technology, 3D printing, extensively for imparting information to the farmers. So in case of my institution, it includes farmers, it includes researchers, it includes trainees, it includes school students, because in my institution, number of school students they visit for getting basic information about the science. So since I am working in the science university, they come here to get an overview of different science facilities, to learn about different program prospectus. You know, education is all about capacity building of human resources. It is about honing up of their practical skills for making them competent and skilled personnel for serving in respective subjects, respective sectors, and ultimately leading to the upliftment of the society. In education, definitely there is transmission of knowledge from the sources to the end users. If we see chronologically, transmission of knowledge, it begins with the use of signs and symbols, then spoken words, then writings on the leaves and manuscripts and so on. Nowadays we have reached to the technological era. All of us are witnesses to the use of, to the transmission of the classroom teaching from chalk and talk method to the present day interactive panels, and even more to the online teaching and learning. So it also takes in its ambit trainings, workshops, seminars, printing material, electronic media, and nowadays internet-based information resources. While transmitting knowledge through the different means, including printed resources, including electronic media, including spoken words, including text, the assimilation of the information or the acceptance of the information, that depends upon the users that are receiving it. So it is not necessary that what the teacher has conveyed to the students that they exactly get that. Okay, हो सकता है ना, because you people know better than me, एक difference हो सकता है, जो आप practically करवा रहे हो, students को बता रहे हो, ये necessary नहीं है कि as it is जाएगा, वो उनके experience, exposure पे, experiences पे, उनके interest पे कितना वो involved है during that session, उस पे depend करता है. So जो big question है, that is how to present data in a more understandable format for better learning. कैसे हम उनको डाटा डिलीवर करें so that they may get the concept in a better way. इसके लिए एक another question है, how well does the conveyed information gets conveyed to the intent? How well does the conveyed information convey the intended meaning? जो information आपने transmit की, that you transfer to the students, whether they are able to get it in the true sense, rightly and accurately. तो ये जो प्रॉब्लम्स हैं इनका एक सोल्यूशन है, दैट इज 3D प्रिंटिंग एंड ऑगमेंटेड एंड वर्चुअल रियलिटी. दोनों कॉन्सेप्ट डिफरेंट हैं. जो 3D प्रिंटिंग है काफ़ी बूम में है आजकल, बहुत यूज़ हो रहा है. बहुत सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज़ हैं जो एम्प्लॉय कर रहे हैं. आई थिंक माई इंस्टीट्यूशन इज फर्स्ट वेटनरी यूनिवर्सिटी इन नॉर्दर्न इंडिया टू यूज़ दिस टेक्नोलॉजी. So we have introduced this technology as part of library. We have created a makerspace. We have created a 3D corner for students where we display different 3D models, and students they come and learn about different concepts, different subjects. 3D printing है क्या? 3D printing is action or process of making a physical object from a 3-dimensional digital model, typically by laying down many thin layers of a material in succession. So this definition is this is self-explanatory. It completely explains the process of 3D printing. It is the action or process of making physical object from a 3-dimensional digital model. It means first of all you need to have a 3D digital model that has to be converted into physical form, typically by laying down many thin layers of material in succession. It means एक deposition process है. इसके दो कंपोनेंट होते हैं, एक्सट्रूडर है, एक नीचे बेड है. यहाँ से स्टार्ट होगा, बेड से लेयर बाय लेयर डिपोजिशन करता जाएगा प्रिंटर, और एक फिजिकल फॉर्म में आपके पास एक मॉडल बन के आ जाएगा. ये जो एजुकेशन सेक्टर है इसमें यूज होना स्टार्ट हुआ 3D प्रिंटिंग आफ्टर 2009, बिकॉज उसके पहले 3D प्रिंटिंग का पेटेंट था. तो ये इंडस्ट्रियल सेक्टर से स्टार्ट हुई 1980s, तब ये टेक्नोलॉजी पेटेंटेड थी. इट गॉट फर्स्ट पेटेंट इन 1989. 2009 में जाके वो पेटेंट फ्री हो गया. आफ्टर दैट एक बूम आ गया. many companies they ventured into this process of making 3D printers. So initially cost that was very high. The 3D printers they were costing like 30-40 lakh rupees, but now they are available in a very nominal cost, beginning from 15 to 20,000 to many lakhs. So it depends upon the size of the printer, it depends upon the technology being used over there. जो 3D प्रिंटिंग है करते क्या है इसमें से वी बिल्ड टेंजिबल मॉडल्स, प्रैक्टिकल मॉडल्स. मैं दिखाता हूँ आपको. दिस इज द टेंजिबल मॉडल ऑफ बोन. अगर आपको ये बोन बुक्स में दिखाई जाएगी, परहैप्स यू वॉन्ट बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड इट कम्प्लीटली. तो अगर आपको हम 3D प्रिंटिंग में बना के दिखाएंगे, यू विल बी एबल टू गेट बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट. तो इसमें टेंजिबल मॉडल हम बनाते हैं by laying one layer at a time through an extrusion like process. Extrusion मैंने आपको explain किया that there is a printer, there is a bed and there is an extruder. Extruder है जो drop करता जाता है मटेरियल को, ऊपर lay down करता जाता है और एक physical form में आपके पास मॉडल आ जाता है. Colors can be applied. Color for example in case of my institution, if some scientists want to show the disease condition over some organ like on heart or on lungs or kidney, so that disease condition can be shown in a different color. Different color हम इसमें apply कर सकते हैं. So it can be used to build prototype of almost any object that can be conveyed in 3 dimension. जो भी आप सोचो, whatever idea you have, जो भी आप सोचो जिसको हम physical form में लेके आ सकते हैं, that can be printed through the 3D printer. इसके features मैं आपको बताता हूँ. Features हैं, it can 3D printed model can be true replica of the original model. ये बोन है, ये ओरिजिनल बोन से स्कैन करके बनाई हुई है. तो जो ट्रू बोन है उसको आप कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं इनटू 3D मॉडल. Its size can be scaled up as per requirement. You can increase or decrease the size of print depending upon your requirement. This bone can also be printed as a miniature. This can size of this bone can also be enlarged depending upon the requirement. 3D models are easier to understand than 2D images. Definitely they are easier to understand because this is a model of skull. आप लोग सोचते होंगे कि इन्होंने तांत्रिक बुला लिया अगर ये स्कल हम एक्सप्लेन करने जाएंगे बच्चे को तो शायद उनको उतना समझ ना आए. But when this is available in your hand in 3D format, you will be able to better understand its different components, different parts. तो कलर्स इसमें यूज हो सकते हैं, डिफरेंट कलर को सपोर्ट करते हैं 3D प्रिंटर, 2 कलर 3 कलर. सो कॉस्ट है जो अकॉर्डिंगली इंक्रीज हो जाती है. बट अगर आपने प्रिंट कर लिया, एक्चुअली इन फैक्ट वी आर हैविंग अ सिंगल कलर प्रिंटर. The original color of this bone was like this. It was of skin color. Then we applied paint to this to just to give it a look like original bone. So we applied paint. So that can also be done. So जो 3D model है, first of all you have to prepare that in software. Then you can create multiple replicas in physical form. एक आपने बना लिया, एक मॉडल प्रिपेयर कर लिया, तो उसके बाद आप चाहे उसके 1000 lakhs जितने मॉडल प्रिंट करना चाहें वो आप कर सकते हैं. प्रिंट ऑन डिमांड, अगर आपको कोई रिक्वायरमेंट है तो आप प्रिंट कर सकते हैं. इट मीन्स यू नीडेंट टू प्रिंट एंड स्टोर ऑल द कंपोनेंट्स एट अ टाइम बिकॉज स्टोरेज की भी प्रॉब्लम है. तो जो आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट होगी बेस्ड ऑन योर रिक्वायरमेंट यू कैन प्रिंट द डिफरेंट मॉडल्स. रैपिड प्रोटोटाइपिंग, when you need to print something you can quickly design it into 3D format and can give command to the printers and the physical object would be readily available to you. So rapid prototyping है ये, इसमें cost effective है. If we go to market and want to buy this sort of model, it will cost us around 1000 to 1500, but we printed it within the cost of 100 rupees only. Actually I want to share with you an example. मेरे colleague and Dr. Arunveer, he came to me and said, sir, we want to make a model of goat that we want to give to the resource persons coming in the workshop on goatry. So we deliberated upon that, how to develop that. Then I suggested him that, Dr. Sir, I don't have, actually, in fact, it will take some time because 3D printing, it is time consuming process, a bit time consuming process. So you have to wait at least 10 days to get the get that models of the goat. Then Dr. Ruby said that, sir, the alternative is that we can confirm from Haryana, and there is a person in Karnal who develops models by hand. So let me call him, and we ask him if he is able to provide the models of goat at the earliest. Then we will go with that person. Otherwise, we will ask you to print the models. In front of me, he contacted that person from Karnal, and he asked for charging rupees 20,000 per model, and the size of model was 17 centimeters only. Then we calculated the cost, we designed the goat, we calculated the cost of that model, and it hardly costed us 90 to 95 rupees only, including this input material charges, including electricity charges and other sundry expenditures. So this is how this is very cost effective. But if you look other side of 3D printing, this is very expensive technology. This is cost effective if you have 3D models available with you. If that is not available, you want to because in order to print a physical model, first of all you have to have a 3D model in digital format. But if you go for buying that is a costly affair. And at the same time, if you employ some person, a skilled person for designing this, that is also going to be a costly affair for you. So it is cost effective only when the 3D models are readily available to you. Design freedom, you can modify the model, you can create anything, so it is design free. And moreover, it is environment friendly because the input material that we have used for printing these models, this is made from sugar cane mixed with plastic, so it is biodegradable. If we bury this material into the ground for 1 month, it will get disposed of, and we have tried this. Basically, there are many types of 3D printers. 7 to 8 types of 3D printers are available over here. But based on the uses of technology, I am going to tell you about 3 main types of printers. First one is fused deposition modeling. In fused deposition modeling, a spool of input material, that is small, that is a wire-like input material. A spool of material is uploaded on the printer, and the printer includes a motor which pushes it to extruder, that is a nozzle. So nozzle converts that material, it melts that material into liquid form, and based on the liquid, a 3D model is constructed. In my institution, we are using FDM based printer. So this is actually most of the academic institutions that are using 3D printing technology, they are using this FDM sort of printers. Second is stereolithography. This is the first 3D printing technology. So when the 3D printing technology was invented, this sort of printers were first to be introduced. So in this kind of 3D printers, we use liquid resin. A liquid is given as input material to the printer, and based on that liquid, based on the design of the model that you instruct the printer to convert into physical form, लेज़र के साथ वो प्रिंटिंग में कन्वर्ट कर देता है. बट दोनों में जो डिफरेंस है, दिस वन जो मैंने पहले आपको बताया, FDM प्रिंट अच्छे होते हैं, बट क्वालिटी इज नॉट सो मच फाइन. But if you start printing with this type of SLA printers, they print super fine quality prints. Actually, this is basically used in dentistry, in jewelry designing. So it is used in the industry which requires very precise printing. Selective laser sintering, this is used for making models of hard material like metal, because there is some powder sort of input material, and based on the laser, it combines the powder particles, and based on that, the requisite model can be developed. This is the kind of material, input material that is being used nowadays. The spools, the coils, wire-like coils, colorful coils, these are called, these are either PLA material or SLA material, ABS material, sorry, ABS material. The bottles you are able to see over here, these are resins. And you can also see that there is an example of food printing. Food printing is also very popular these days. Education में कैसे यूजफुल है 3D प्रिंटिंग? एजुकेशन में प्रैक्टिकल कोर्सेज के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, एज आई हैव शोन टू यू, बिकॉज अगर यही स्कल को हम प्रिंट फॉर्मेट में देखेंगे, इफ वी सी दिस इन द बुक और इन वीडियो, वी वॉन्ट बी एबल टू have this much sort of exposure that we are having when this is in our hand. तो एजुकेशन में बहुत यूजफुल है, पर्टिकुलरली फॉर वेटनरी एजुकेशन, साइंस एजुकेशन. आप सोच के देखो, आप अपने फील्ड में अप्लाई कर सकते हो. इफ वी टॉक अबाउट ह्यूमैनिटीज, पंजाबी से हैं कोई पंजाबी सब्जेक्ट? ओके, अप्लाई कर सकते हैं इसको पंजाबी में. टेक्नोलॉजी को पंजाबी में भी हम अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज वी कैन टेक फिजिकल प्रिंट्स ऑफ ट्रेडिशनल थिंग्स. हल पंजाली, यू स्टडी दिस सॉर्ट ऑफ थिंग्स इन पंजाबी. इतने पढ़ाते हैं ना, वो सारियां चीज़ां आप ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪ੍ਰਿੰਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਖੂਬੀਆਂ ਟਿੰਡਾਂ. ਅਦਰਵਾਈਜ਼ these sort of things are abolishing now from the society. So ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰਿੰਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਰੱਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ. So sometimes structure of the model is so complex that it is difficult to prepare it by hand. Definitely it is not possible to prepare this sort of model with so much precision by hand. So definitely in that case 3D printing is going to be helpful to you. So with the help of 3D prints, the teachers can convey their message in a better way to the students, because when the students, they are having a real model in their hand, they would be able to get a better grasp of the things from that. No chance of disease transmission. You know about genetic diseases that gets transmitted from human to human or human to animals, communicable diseases. So genetic diseases का कोई खतरा ही नहीं है. अगर मैं अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी की बात करूँ, जब पोस्टमार्टम करते हैं किसी एनिमल का, तो हो सकता है किसी स्टूडेंट को वहाँ से कोई डिजीज कैच कर ले, हो सकता है ना, या उसका लाइव ट्रीटमेंट कर रहे हैं, डिजीज इन्फेक्टेड हो सकता है एनिमल, तो वो ट्रांसमिशन का कोई खतरा ही नहीं है. सेकेंड इज नो नीड ऑफ केमिकल्स टू प्रिजर्व द मॉडल. साइंस स्ट्रीम से कितने लोग हैं साइंस स्ट्रीम से? तो जो आप मॉडल्स प्रिजर्व करते हो, फॉर्मेलिन में रखते हैं ना, तो उसके रिस्क आपको पता है, कार्सिनोमा प्रोन होता है वो, है ना. तो आपकी आइज़ को भी एकदम से जब खोलेंगे तो आइज़ को इम्पैक्ट करते हैं, तो इसको तो रखने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है, जैसे मर्जी रख लो, रफ एंड टफ आप इसको रख सकते हैं, सिंपल कंटेनर्स में, अलमीराज में, आप जहाँ भी रखना चाहो आप इसको रख सकते हैं. So do you think that there is role of libraries in this 3D printing? लाइब्रेरी का कोई रोल है?
We can print books also.
Books? No, you cannot print books. Library, actually, what library is? Library is a bridge between those who have knowledge and those who need knowledge. नॉलेज किनके पास है? टीचर्स के पास नॉलेज है. नॉलेज की जरूरत किनको है? आप लोगों को, स्टूडेंट्स को. ठीक है, तो लाइब्रेरीज कैन बी यूज्ड एज अ फैसिलिटेटर बिटवीन द टीचर एंड बिटवीन द स्टूडेंट्स. टीचर आएंगे, वो बताएंगे ये कॉन्सेप्ट है मेरा, ये हम प्रिंट करना चाहते हैं, दिस इज द सब्जेक्ट दैट आई वांट टू टीच टू द स्टूडेंट्स. तो अगर वो मॉडल, वो फैसिलिटी दे देंगे, वहाँ पे एक 3D प्रिंटिंग की फैसिलिटी देते हैं और टीचर आते हैं, वो अपना मॉडल्स वहाँ से प्रिंट करवाते हैं, दैट गेट्स यूज्ड इन द क्लासरूम. सो लाइब्रेरी अपना काम कर रही है. अगर आप देखें तो एक मेकर स्पेस का कॉन्सेप्ट है, दैट इज वेरी पॉपुलर इन द डेवलप्ड वर्ल्ड. बहुत सारी यूनिवर्सिटी यूज कर रही है. क्वींसलैंड, यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ क्वींसलैंड में, इफ यू गो टू द वेबसाइट ऑफ दिस यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ क्वींसलैंड, you will find information about 3D printing facility over there. There is a link given for booking the 3D printing. It means students of that university they can book a slot in the library for using this facility. They provide material free of cost. They allow you to use the 3D printing facility, provided that the model that gets prepared after the completion of process, that has to be shared on the social media platform provided by the university. So according to the report of 3D printing media network report, there are 800 3D printers globally available globally. So this data is based on the geospatial marking of the 3D printing facility, because each and every library, they have not marked this facility available over the over Google Earth or something else like that. So in fact the number is much more than this. If you the same report says that if you see the scenario of China alone is having more than 3000 3D printers in their libraries. तो ये मैंने देखा भी है किसी लाइब्रेरी में फॉरेन में, तो उन्होंने मुझे गिफ्ट किया था, that was printed through this 3D printer. So this, in addition, this is printing, this 3D printing is interesting process. स्टूडेंट आएंगे, वो देखेंगे कि क्या हो रहा है, तो they will get interested in that technology. They can also bring their ideas. They can bring the different subjects, different components to the library that they want to get printed. तो वो भी एक अच्छा फैक्टर हो सकता है for the libraries. But librarians alone, they cannot do 3D printing. So they have to collaborate with the scientists. They have to collaborate with the teachers. They have to collaborate with the students. क्यों करना है collaborate? Because सब्जेक्ट तो उन्होंने पढ़ाना है, उनको पता है कि क्या, कौन सी कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी, कौन सी चीज प्रिसाइजली दिखानी है, क्या साइज होना चाहिए. सो ये चीजें हैं जो सब्जेक्ट है, जो दैट हैज टू बी शेयर्ड बाय द टीचर्स. दिस 3D printing process involves four parts. First one is preparation of CAD model. First of all, you need to have a 3D model in electronic format available with you. If you want to print a 3D model in a physical form, then first of all you need to have a 3D file. So it may be in STL format, it may be in OBJ format, it may be in GE model. So number of formats are available, but this is the most tedious task. This first and foremost task is the step is most tedious, because in order to make a 3D file, you need to have knowledge of 3D designing. You need to have knowledge of CAD, computer aided design software. You need to have knowledge of some sort of sculpturing software. If you want to make natural spaces, then you would be required to use sculpturing software. So once this model is ready, then you can convert it into G code. For that purpose, various software are available. One of them is Ultimaker Cura. You simply need to put your 3D model, especially in STL or OBJ format, into Ultimaker Cura. and from there you can do the slicing of the model, digital model, and can convert it into G code. This is the step where you determine the size of the model, whether you want to develop a miniature or you want to increase or decrease the size. That is determined at this level. In addition, this is the step where you have to decide whether you want to print a solid model or you want to print a hollow model. If you see this skull, this is hollow. This is very lightweight. So जो स्लाइसिंग है, स्लाइसिंग के वक्त हम बहुत सारे पैरामीटर्स डिसाइड करते हैं. Then thereafter you can transmit the G code file either through pen drive or through network, depending upon the facility supported by your 3D printer. So that has to be transmitted into 3D printer. It will take some time depending upon the size of the model, depending upon the complexity of the model, depending upon the infill percentage, depending upon the support system that you want to develop with the 3D model. Support system in the sense, जब हमने ये 3D printer model 3D model print किया, तो ये यहाँ से बनना स्टार्ट हुआ, नीचे से स्टार्ट हुआ, ऐसे ऐसे बनता गया, एक्सट्रूडर ऊपर गया, तो ये तो इन एयर है ना, ये वाला पार्ट है जो इन एयर है, तो ये रुकेगा नहीं ऐसे, इसके नीचे एक्सपोर्ट लगानी पड़ी. सो दैट इज आल्सो जनरेटेड विद द 3D प्रिंटर. तो वो सब करके इन चीज़ों, इन फैक्टर्स को कंसिडर करते हुए सिस्टम आपको एक टाइम बताएगा कि दिस विल टेक दिस मच टाइम फॉर मेकिंग अ फिजिकल प्रोडक्ट. तो फाइनली द फिजिकल प्रोडक्ट वुड बी अवेलेबल टू यू, बट you have to spend some more time in order to clean it, in order to remove the spots, in order to make the model smooth. Because ये नीचे पार्ट आ गया, जब नीचे से प्रिंट होगा तो यहाँ पे थ्रेड टाइप कुछ आ जाएगा, तो वो आपको सब रिमूव करना पड़ेगा. If you are not having 3D model readily available, if you are not able to make the 3D model, if you don't have any expert personnel with you that can generate a 3D model, then numerous websites are available from there, from where you can download the 3D model. First one is Thingiverse. This is the website supported by Ultimaker Cura. You can download numerous models from there. Models on almost each and everything are available over there. तो आप जाओ वहाँ से डाउनलोड कर लो. Second is 3D curls. Not all of the models available over 3D curls are available free of cost. For certain models they charge a nominal amount, 200, 300, 1500, so depending upon the size and complexity of the model. Otherwise many free models are also available from there. The third one is Embody 3D. This is particularly useful for science community. Science model है इसपे organs है original. We printed heart of bovine. Bovine means cattle, buffalo. So that was converted from CT scan. From CT scan, it was put into democratized 3D software, and from there they converted into STL file. So that is the original heart. Actually, I am not having that model available with me right now, but that is the true heart. If you cut it from, if you make a cross section of that, you would realize even the heart chambers are also available over there. So that is true heart. So this sort of things can be downloaded from Embody 3D. In addition, you can also utilize the 3D democratized 3D software that is available over this embody3d.com. So that software can be used to convert the CT scans into STL file, which can further be printed with the help of 3D printers. In addition, there is one more website, that is Sketchfab. If you are not having 3D printing facility, if you cannot introduce it immediately, even then you can use this Sketchfab for teaching purpose.
Only if we could make virtual partners, husbands and wives, major miseries of the world will be solved.
आपके पॉइंट से मुझे एक चीज याद आई, just on a lighter side, मैं यही सोच रहा था कि मेरी वाइफ का बर्थडे आने वाला है.
Actually, sir, you can send me a picture of her, not only of her, your family, and I will print that into Lithography, and I will courier that to you, and you can
get our research on these models, whether this will be authenticated or not.
No, that actually this is for learning only. You cannot base your research on that, but you can experiment before going with the real things. You can experiment on this in order to improve your skills.
Thank you for engaging.
One thing I would like to say that in one section you were showing human heart and skeleton and all. No? So I just was checking that on my phone because I would say that it's not just useful for maybe senior students. My daughter is just 4 years old and she always keeps on asking me what's there inside a dog, what's there inside us. So why is it different? So I was just, when you showed that, so I thought that it can be a good tool for even kids to show that. But I was not, when I was doing it on my phone, so I was not able to find that with description thing. You showed that जहाँ पे skeleton के साथ में description भी दिया हुआ था. So how do we search that actually?
Okay. Actually जब हमने suppose मैंने डॉक्टर प्रविंदर की माय फ्रेंड, अगर मैंने उनके पास जाना है तो मेरे पास उनका एड्रेस होना चाहिए. अगर वो मुझे एड्रेस ही नहीं देंगे तो मैं कैसे जाऊँगा? वो डिपेंड करता है मॉडल पे. जिस मॉडल में उन्होंने इंटरप्रिटेशन दी है वो उसी में अवेलेबल होगी. बहुत सारे मॉडल ऐसे हैं जिनमें उन्होंने इंटरप्रिटेशन दे रखी है, बहुत सारे मॉडल ऐसे हैं जिनमें उन्होंने इंटरप्रिटेशन नहीं दी. सो इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द मॉडल, इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द इंस्टीट्यूशन which has contributed towards this sketchfab, whether they have provided interpretation of the model or not. So उस पर डिपेंड करता है. बट इसमें ये ऑथेंटिक है, इसमें बहुत सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज़ ने कंट्रीब्यूट किया हुआ है. यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ न्यू इंग्लैंड ऑस्ट्रेलिया, उन्होंने कंट्रीब्यूट किया हुआ है इसमें टेक्सास के मॉडल आपको मिल जाएंगे, इंडियाना यूनिवर्सिटी के आपको मिल जाएंगे, बहुत सारी अच्छे इंस्टीट्यूट, रॉयल वेटनरी कॉलेज के, उनके मॉडल्स आपको मिल जाएंगे. तो इसमें यूनिवर्सिटीज़ ने कंट्रीब्यूट किया. ये अच्छा एक ऑथेंटिक प्लेटफॉर्म है. बिकॉज अगर ये शेयर कर रहे हैं ना वो वाले मॉडल, तो विदाउट वेरीफाइंग नहीं कर रहे, क्योंकि अगर यूनिवर्सिटी कोई कंटेंट शेयर कर रही है, अगर हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी ने ये मॉडल बनवाए हैं, हमने दो आई वाज पीआई ऑफ दैट प्रोजेक्ट, बट मेरा कंट्रीब्यूशन इसमें नहीं है कि मॉडल बनवाए. मेरा कंट्रीब्यूशन था टू सर्व एज अ लिंक बिटवीन द टेक्नोक्रेट्स एंड बिटवीन द साइंटिस्ट्स. तो जो ऑथेंटिकेट किए हैं वो तुम्हारे टीचर्स ने किए हैं. तो जो मॉडल यहाँ पे स्केच पैड पे दिखा रहे हैं वो सारे ऑथेंटिक मॉडल्स हैं. बट इफ यू गो टू थिंगीवर्स, वहाँ पे ऑथेंटिक नहीं हो सकते, जरूरी नहीं. थिंगीवर्स द फर्स्ट एग्जांपल दैट आई गिव ओवर हियर, उसमें हो सकता है ऑथेंटिक ना हो, बट इसमें सारे के सारे मॉडल्स ऑथेंटिक.
मतलब जब हम सर्च करते हैं, तो जब हम सर्च में बहुत सारे मॉडल्स को दिखाते हैं, तो मतलब एज अ काइंड ऑफ अ लेमैन हु डजंट नो मच अबाउट द फील्ड, तो हाउ कैन आई बी श्योर कि ये वाला मतलब कौन सा खोले? क्योंकि इज देयर अ वे आई कैन पुट अ कीवर्ड के इस इंस्टीट्यूट का या ऐसे करके?
नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. आप सर्च करो तो वहाँ पे इंस्टीट्यूशन की इंफॉर्मेशन भी आ जाएगी, कौन सी यूनिवर्सिटी ने कंट्रीब्यूट किया. तो आपको एक्सप्लोर करना पड़ेगा. इवन कर्व्स 3D है जो वो भी बेटर है. कर्व्स 3D वो बेटर है, बेटर देन थिंगीवर्स. बट थिंगीवर्स में ये है कि आपके पास फ्रीली अवेलेबल है, वो कुछ चार्ज करते हैं. अगर आपने स्केचपैड से ही परचेज करना है तो कुछ बिट कॉस्टली प्रोडक्ट है. कि मैंने आपको दिखाया वो हार्ट था $149 का. तो डिपेंड करता है ना मॉडल कितना कॉम्प्लेक्स है. जी हमने एक बनाया हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी में, धीरज जी को पता है, एक वर्गीस कुरियन का शायद आपने नाम सुना होगा. मिल्क रेवोल्यूशन जो लेके आए ना, वाइट रेवोल्यूशन इंडिया में, वर्गीस कुरियन साहब लेके आए. तो उनका हमने बर्स्ट बनाया. बर्स्ट में इतना पोर्शन हमने बनाया, मतलब रियल जैसे होता है ना, स्टैचू लगे होते हैं, तो उनका हमने स्टैचू बनाया. तो ऐसे आप बना सकते हैं, कुछ भी बना सकते हैं. एक मेरे दोस्त ने मुझे दिखाया, डॉक्टर विकास कोहली हैं हमारे यहाँ पे, वेटनरी के फिशरीज के साइंटिस्ट हैं. उन्होंने मुझे दिखाई एग्जाम्पल्स, कुछ दिखाई थी पिक्चर्स. अभी तो ये बिजनेस भी शुरू हो गया कि कपल की पिक्चर्स बनाते हैं. आई थिंक प्राइस था उसका 10,000 के करीब, छोटे छोटे मिनिएचर, बस इतना कपल बनाया 10,000 का. तो हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी में हमने बच्चों के लिए फ्रीली ओपन किया है. बच्चों के लिए, सभी के लिए फ्रीली ओपन है. बट जो भी मॉडल्स हैं वो एकेडमिक इंस्टीट्यूशन नहीं रहे. तो हम एक्सटेंशन के लिए बहुत सारे मॉडल्स बना रहे हैं. जैसे हूफ, उसका होता है ना एनिमल का जो पैर होता है, तो हूफ के मॉडल बनाए हैं हमने. एंड न्यूट्रोफिल्स के मॉडल बनाए हैं. डिफरेंट किडनी का बनाया, उसकी किडनी का, लिवर का बनाया, सप्लीन का बनाया. बहुत सारे मॉडल हैं जो हमने बनाए. बट स्लो प्रोसेस है. अगर आप सोचोगे कि सप्लीन बनानी है, इतनी सी सप्लीन है, तो उसको भी बनाने में कितने दिन लग जाएंगे. बिकॉज फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू हैव टू डिजाइन दैट इनटू 3D. तो फिर उसके बाद ही प्रिंट करेंगे, तो थोड़ा टाइम कंज्यूमिंग है.
सर जैसे आपने जो विराट कोहली की पिक्चर दिखाई वो आपने फ्लैश लगा के दिखाई, तो क्या जैसे वो मोस्ट प्रोबेबली ट्यूबलाइट से भी विजिबल हो जाएगी जब हम उसको म्यूजियम के किसी उस पर रखेंगे, बट क्या वो कैंडल लाइट से या किसी और लाइट से भी विजिबल होगी?
येलो पे दिखाऊंगा तो नहीं चलेगा. अगर प्रोजेक्टर लगेगा वहाँ पे लेके जाऊंगा, नहीं चलेगा. उसके लिए पर्टिकुलर डेडिकेटेड वाइट लाइट.
कैसा क्यों?
बेटा वो लिथो है ना, वो टेक्नोलॉजी है, वर्क यूज से.
एक
कहते हैं कि ये किसी की जॉब नहीं लेने वाली, बट चलिए खैर वो तो अब हम रूटीन में जो काम कर रहे हैं रिसर्च का, तो चाहे आप इंस्टा पे जाएं, चाहे आप अपने एफबी पे जाएं, एक बार आपने कर लिया तो सेम मॉडल की चीज़ें आपको एल्गोरिदम दिखाएगा। तो वहाँ पे इन बच्चों से भी छोटे 2 बॉयज़ हैं IIT खड़गपुर के, कि आप उदय में नहीं इवन अपने कोर्सेज शुरू कर दिए हैं कि हाउ टू लर्न यूजिंग AI टूल्स स्पेसिफिकली राइट, अगर आपने पेपर लिखना है या बुक लिखनी है या आपने जर्नलिज्म के पर्पज से चाहिए कैसे भी, तो जिस तरीके से लोग मनी मिंट कर रहे हैं ये सिखा करके कि AI सीखें यूज़ करना, तो जब जॉब खाएगी AI तो वो तो चलो बात की बात है, फिलहाल तो इसने कई लोगों के लिए चीज़ें क्रिएट कर दी हैं। Everyone is a tutor.
मैडम यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा हम लोगों को ये समझना होगा कि जैसे जो लोग मनी मेकिंग कर रहे हैं,
yes.
आप सिस्टम पे विश्वास कितना करते हो? जैसे मुझे एक पेपर लिखना है, ठीक है, अब मुझे पेपर लिखना है, मैं बिना सोचे समझे अगर चैट GPT के जो डेटा आ रहा है मैं उस पर भरोसा कर रहा हूँ, तो गलती किसकी है? हम एक रिसर्च आर्टिकल लिख रहे हैं तो हमको अपने डेटा पे विश्वास है कि उस डेटा पे विश्वास है जिसका कि हमको कोई सोर्स ही नहीं पता है। वो सीधे कह रहा है कि आपका डेटा हम सितंबर 21 तक ही वैलिड है और हमको कोई उसकी जानकारी नहीं है कि उसका सोर्स ऑफ ऑथेंटिकेशन क्या है। तो अब हमारा ठीक है, बहुत से टूल हैं, 120 टूल मैंने अभी दिखाए, ऐसे बहुत से टूल हैं जो विजुअलाइजेशन के लिए हैं, लिटरेचर रिव्यू के लिए हैं, आपके डेटा एनालिसिस के लिए हैं, आपके नॉर्मल डेटा इंफॉर्मेशन के लिए हैं। लेकिन उसका जो ऑथेंटिकेशन है, जो सोर्स डॉक्यूमेंट मिल रहा है, जो डाटा मिल रहा है, उसको कई बार मैंने खुद प्रैक्टिकली उसको किया है, वो ऑथेंटिकेटेड नहीं है। वो एक मतलब आप कह सकते हैं कि एक बना के रख लिया इंफॉर्मेशन की रिपोजिटरी और उसमें एक एल्गोरिदम डाल दिया कि अगर मैं डालता हूं कि व्हाट इज नेम ऑफ फर्स्ट प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया, तो डेटाबेस में गया, ऐसा एल्गोरिदम बनाया, पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू लिख के आ जाएगा। लेकिन अगर मैंने थोड़ा क्वेश्चन को घुमा दिया, जो उसके एल्गोरिदम से नहीं बैठा तो बोलेगा सॉरी आई डिड नॉट फाइंड दिस
क्योंकि वो उसके एल्गोरिदम में
उसमें एल्गोरिदम में नहीं है, उसके डेटाबेस में नहीं है, उनके इंफॉर्मेशन में नहीं है। तो जो मनी मेकिंग वाला जो प्रश्न है वो अब ये डिपेंड करता है हमारे ऊपर कि हाउ मच वी आर गोइंग टू ट्रस्ट ऑन द पब्लिसिटी व्हिच पीपल आर डूइंग और मेकिंग जस्ट टू मेक मनी। आप ये पहले हमको समझना होगा कि चैट GPT को सीखने से हमको कितना लाभ होने वाला है। अगर हम हाँ जी
हम ह्यूमैनिटीज के टीचर्स हैं, देखिए मेल क्राफ्ट करने के लिए ये ठीक है, ठीक
हाँ, मतलब
लिखने के लिए ये ठीक है, आपके लिए तो धुआंधार कुछ शब्द लिख देगा वो, लेकिन ये ह्यूमैनिटीज में जो हम
रिसर्च आर्टिकल के लिए कभी जी
माय क्वेश्चन इज कि क्या हमें वाकई में डरने की जरूरत है?
नहीं, मेरे समझ से आपको डरने की जरूरत नहीं है। इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू क्रिएट समथिंग मतलब बिग हर्डल फॉर द मींस फ्यूचर जनरेशन। अभी के समय में तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं होने वाला है।
Citation in this session has been patchy and incidental, but I must admit I have thoroughly enjoyed all the speakers, whatever part of their presentation I could be listening to. My very warm gratefulness to all the speakers, Dr. Tripathi, Dr. Neeraj Kumar, Dr. Nirmal and Dr. Savinder. Well, I would say that all that they had presented had all these topics are opening new aspects of technology to us. There are few things that amaze us. I remember having read some science fics as a child, as a student, and had been teaching a chapter in BSc classes long ago, which used to say there would come a day. This was written by an author somewhere in 18th century, this chapter in English textbook, where it was said that there would be a day when students won't have to go to the schools. They will sit in front of a screen and will study. Can you imagine someone in 18th century could just imagine a fictitious situation like that, and this has become a reality today, right? And as was Madam Aman talking about when the calculators were introduced in the schools, how everybody was panicking. I recall from my own lifetime, I'm sure in 1980, majority of the audience must not have been born. I have witnessed that stage when computers were being introduced in the public sector banks. I remember a huge strike at a national level. The banking personnel, they would say that, oh, our jobs are going to go away. Everything will be done by a computer, then where are we going to work? Well, as Dr. Tripathi was assuring us that nothing artificially created, especially by the humans themselves, can swallow our working. Your data will be available only if somebody is uploading it. Somebody is hosting it. And who is doing this? Machine cannot do it. As we all see, sometimes, there is a poem in Urdu, in English, in Hindi. Somebody posts it on FB, and FB will, my colleagues from economics department the other day, Dr. Megha, she's not here today. One day she comes to me and she says, someone they were trying to meet up has sent them a letter. And she said, would you like to read it? This was full of real heavy words. Each sentence was it was so hilarious. I could not imagine someone taking out time and writing a script like that. And then everybody, whoever was reading will say, chat GPT, go refer to that. And she says, my husband says that I have to reply in a similar manner. Mr. Period in chat GPT. So these tools, wherever, they can assist us, yes, that is going to be hilarious, and it's actually very, very surprising how a lot of drafting work can be done through such tools. I was looking at what Dr. Neeraj was presenting. He talked about data repositories. Now, data repositories are nothing but what we are giving to the system. If we do not upload some knowledge, some information, some formulas, it will never be able to supply us or help us in a desired way. So anyway, I believe technology has taken over so much. When it comes to research and innovation, definitely it becomes sometimes a big struggle for all of us to access the means, the resources, and technology is making it easy. Again, going back in my own life, when in early 80s, when I was trying to go in for research, I was told that, okay, you need to go visit one library in New Delhi, one in Hyderabad, and one library probably in Ahmedabad. And I was wondering, how would I travel, who is going to take me there, and how I'm going to get the references, what will be the timings, where will I go and stay, etc., etc., etc. There was no internet in those days. I'm sure if someone from the present generation, they have to sit and write an article, it's no problem. You can access, I would say, umpteen data or any kind of information at the click of the mouse. So this is how the technology is making things easy. For my generation, it is rather, it has been a revolution. And for you, since you are born with this technology, you keep considering, oh, this is progression, one step ahead, one step ahead. Well, bringing it back to our today's topic, innovation and research technologies, I would say, try to make use of all the facilities, all the resources the technology is offering you, but always use your bay method, because this is typically and uniquely in you, not in artificial intelligence or in technology. Thank you very much, everybody. My special thanks to Dr. Gurpreet and his organizing team. You have actually brought us to a session which has been so insightful, so interesting, and my regrets to have missed out on Dr. Nirmal's session, majority of it. Thank you very much. Keep it up.